Hey guys, it's Samantha. From becoming famous before they could walk, to the struggles they faced in the public eye, this is what you never knew about Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Number 15. Producers. The Olsen twins are most widely recognized for their acting career, which began when they were just 9 months old. But throughout the years, they began expending their professional lives into other areas.
They were born on June 13, 1986, and they founded their own production company, Star, in 1993. Making them just 7 years old at the time.
Mary-Kate and Ashley produced television shows, films, games, and various other things through Star. Some of the movies they put out included 1993's Double Double Toil and Trouble, 1999's Passport to Paris, and New York Minute from 2004, which was their first theatrical film since It Takes Two in 1995. Unfortunately, the 2004 feature didn't do well at the box office, and Star had issues staying afloat as a result. In 2007, the company became inactive, and it didn't resurface until 2013 for a fragrance collection. Number 14. Parents divorce. Ashley and Mary-Kate haven't had the easiest lives since they started their careers so early in Hollywood. One of the most difficult things children often have to deal with is divorce. The twins' mom and dad, Jarnette and David, decided to split in 1995. Some outlets reported that it was a result of Mary-Kate and Ashley's fame, but it seems pretty harsh to blame the end of their parents' relationship on them. They were only 9 years old at the time, after all. Being in the spotlight definitely has an effect on people, and David and Jarnette probably felt some of the fallout from that. Despite the stress fame can cause, let's not forget that their parents are the ones who kickstarted their daughters' journeys. Their mom sent in photographs of them when they were babies, which eventually earned them the role of Michelle Tanner in Full House. Their dad talked about them back in 1991 during an interview with the Washington Post, stating that they were talented and utilizing their personalities and were very photogenic. According to David, Jarnette was the one who pushed Mary-Kate and Ashley into an acting career, and decided against it since they loved playing Michelle. Everyone has a different story to tell, but it's safe to say that the girls are the only ones who remember how the divorce affected them. Number 13. Fraternal and identical. Just about anyone who sees the Olsen twins would naturally assume that they're identical twins, because they look almost exactly alike. So it's quite shocking to find out that Mary-Kate and Ashley are fraternal, not identical. Technically speaking, they're fraternal twins that look identical. Are you confused yet? We are. Number 12. Olivier SARKOZY.
For a long time since their days in the limelight, Mary-Kate and Ashley haven't talked openly about very much, including their romantic lives.
But in 2017, the former spoke a little about her relationship with Olivier Sarkozy, a half-brother to the former French president, Nicolas Sarkozy. The two tied the knot in 2015 after dating for 3 years. Mary-Kate is 32 years old and Sarkozy is 50, so there's an 18-year age difference between them, which doesn't bother the lovebirds at all. During Mary-Kate's 2017 interview, she said that she cooks dinner for her husband and 2 stepkids after getting home from work and relaxes by riding horses on the weekends. Number 11. A Night with Johnny. Although Johnny Depp claimed that he was in a relationship with Vanessa Paradis at the time of this alleged hookup, the evidence suggests he wasn't remaining faithful to his girlfriend. On February 27, 2014, Depp was spotted leaving Ashley's apartment complex looking like he didn't want anyone to see him. Even an office worker said that there was an email going around to all the employees that Johnny was using their building to avoid the paparazzi. Apparently, he was leaving Ashley's place after a sleepover, and he'd gotten there in the afternoon the day before. Nothing is really known about the two celebs' overnighter, but to each their own assumptions. Number 10. Growing up famous. It makes sense that the Olsen twins would suffer some of the adverse effects of a lifetime of fame. As child stars in Hollywood, Mary-Kate and Ashley didn't get to live the average life. Most of us don't start working until we're in our mid to late teens, but they've never known a life without work, and unusual work at that. From being iconic as children to going through serious personal issues on camera, they were never given a chance to simply be themselves. You might have noticed that the girls don't exactly make the headlines very often nowadays, which is a result of their childhood in the limelight. They tend to try and maintain their privacy as often as possible and aren't exactly welcoming of paparazzi and cameras. These two have been through a lot over the years, so who can blame them?
Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks, and now back to the video.
Number 9. Hate acting. As we previously stated, fame can take a toll on anybody, especially if they've been internationally known since infancy. It shouldn't be overly surprising that Mary-Kate and Ashley didn't truly enjoy acting or the notoriety that came with it. Although they had some good times on the set of Full House, the recognition they received didn't allow them to live a normal childhood. Growing up in the spotlight forces children to mature at an accelerated pace.
They became increasingly concerned about their outward appearances and constantly paid attention to how people viewed them.
During a 2004 interview with Oprah, the hostess asked them about their alleged eating disorders at the time and even questioned them about what size clothes they wore, which made Ashley and Mary-Kate obviously uncomfortable. Even back then, when an audience member asked about their favorite memories from their careers, the twins didn't give the extravagant answers you'd expect from two girls with seemingly glamorous Hollywood lifestyles. They replied that their favorite memory was an ordinary camping trip they'd had with their friends around that time. It seems that Mary-Kate and Ashley always wanted a normal life, in which they could enjoy their family and friends and not have to worry about all the attention that celebrities can't escape. Number 8. Mary-Kate's ADD. Since she and her sister seem so focused, especially in more recent interviews, you might not have guessed that Mary-Kate has ADD. For those who don't know, ADD, or attention deficit disorder, is a condition that makes it difficult for those affected to pay attention. People who have ADD or ADHD have trouble staying organized, can seem forgetful, and might have trouble completing tasks. Mary-Kate talked about her ADD diagnosis when she was attending New York University. She said that she was given extra time to take tests due to the disorder. Mary-Kate further stated that she has to take more time studying so that she can answer and analyze the information she's given. Number 7. Spencer Pratt. If you've watched The Hills, then you probably know about Spencer Pratt, and there's a good chance that you don't like him. Somebody else that can't possibly be on good terms with the reality star is Mary-Kate Olsen.
The two attended the same high school, and Pratt decided to live up to his bad reputation after Mary-Kate's 2008 interview with David Letterman.
During the interview, she spoke about Pratt's high school years. She said that he used to play for their school soccer team and noted that he doesn't have a good temper. Mary-Kate further stated that he even walked out of a few games. This all happened around the same time that Spencer leaked a photo of Mary-Kate drunk in high school and bragged about selling it for $50,000. After seeing her interviews, however, Pratt went on a rant, personally attacking Mary-Kate. He called her a troll and said that she was the less cute twin. Since she has always struggled with her self-image, these comments must have hurt Mary-Kate. Pratt later apologized, stating that he was sorry for getting caught up in trash talking, but the soccer stuff was an emotional subject for him. Number 6. Fashion icons. They used to be famous for acting, but now they're renowned for their iconic fashion. Ashley and Mary-Kate established their clothing line in 2006, called The Row. Although simplistic, the line focuses on detail, quality materials, and a timeless aesthetic. They got the idea to launch their own brand in 2005, when Ashley tasked herself with making the perfect t-shirt, testing her design on women of all shapes and sizes. A year later, the sisters had a 7-piece collection. Their collection was a hit, and Barney's New York purchased the entire thing. Nowadays, the twins present their brand at New York Fashion Week annually, and they've made 2 appearances at Paris Fashion Week so far. You can purchase the clothing in several stores or online, but the quality and popularity of their high fashion makes it cost a pretty penny. A cotton and wool jacket is upwards of $1,800. Number 5. Necrosis. It seems that Mary-Kate has gone through a lot throughout her career. She's certainly been in the headlines more often than her sister. Another time this happened was in 2016, after a cosmetic surgery that went wrong.
Sources reported that the twin got a liquid facelift, which should have been a simple procedure.
Afterward, her face apparently turned black and bruised and began to swell. The complication Mary-Kate was experiencing turned out to be necrosis, which is when tissue begins to rot away. It's often associated with brown recluse spider bites. Luckily, she got oxygen therapy and made it out with hardly any scars. Number 4. Elizabeth Olsen. Although Mary-Kate and Ashley have been iconic from the time they were babies, their sister Elizabeth has made quite a name for herself in the Hollywood industry. She was 4 years old when she started acting, and her breakthrough came when she got the role of Scarlet Witch in the Avengers film series. She also played the character in the Captain America films. Number 3. Mary-Kate's battle. Another issue Mary-Kate dealt with in the mid-2000s was her struggle with anorexia nervosa, a condition in which somebody restricts their food intake, exhibits an intense desire to be thin, can be very underweight, and is scared of gaining weight. There were numerous photographs online and in tabloids in which Mary-Kate's ribs were visible, and she looked extremely fragile. Unsurprisingly, rumors about her potential eating disorder and looks began circulating rapidly. At first, she joked about the accusations and tried to put it off, but in 2004, she checked into a treatment facility with the help of her family and therapist. Number 2. Heath Ledger. Mary-Kate's struggles have been seemingly continuous throughout her life so far. In 2008, she dealt with something else that caused her to spiral downward, the passing of her close friend, Heath Ledger.
Many people believe that the two had been romantically involved at the end of his life. Nobody even knew the stars were friends until the awful news surfaced.
But Mary-Kate was one of the first people to learn about what happened to Ledger. After his masseuse found his body, she called the twin before even contacting the emergency line. People magazine later noted that she and Ledger had been casually dating. The cause of Heath's demise was determined to be a mix of various substances. DEA officials wanted to speak with Mary-Kate about Ledger, but she refused, stating that she wouldn't do anything without legal immunity. Many people believe that she must have known where he acquired the substances, but her attorney insisted that she had nothing to do with it. Number 1. Retirement. They began their careers at an incredibly young age, and they ended their careers at a young age as well. In 2012, the twins said that they wanted to retire, as actresses at least.
After some films that didn't do very well at the box office and their rising prominence in the fashion industry, they wanted to focus only on the latter.
Although many people were sad to see the Fuller House stars go, it was time Ashley and Mary-Kate exited the spotlight and took time to pursue their true passions. Years of stardom, scrutiny, and stress mostly ended with their retirement, and the sisters have been doing better. They tend to stay far away from the limelight nowadays, and their happiness, business, and success has grown because of it.
Today's featured comment is from XTY on our highest paid actresses in the world video. Thanks for your comment, XTY. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below, and we might feature you in a future video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.